This is the Pixar characters logical explanation video. There are many ways to arrive at the solution of this puzzle without guessing. This is just one way. Starting with logic rule number 2, we can identify the 4 characters whose names have been used in Pixar film titles. These are Dory, from Finding Dory, Buzz, from Lightyear, Wall-E, from Wall-E, and Luca, from Luca. Now we also know from rule number 3 that all blue characters should be in row 4. This means Dory should be in one of these bottom 2 corners. The other blue characters in the puzzle are Sadness from Inside Out and Sally from Cars. According to rule number 1, we now know that Dory should be in the bottom right corner, because both Sadness and Sally are from more recent movies than Finding Nemo, where Dory was first introduced, and so they should be to the left of Dory. Sadness should be to the left of Sally because Inside Out is more recent than Cars. From the remaining possible corner characters, only Luca can fit in the bottom left corner, because neither Wall-E or Buzz, who was first introduced in Toy Story, are more recent than Inside Out. After placing Luca in the bottom left, we now know that Wall-E should be in the top left and Buzz should be in the top right, because Wall-E is more recent than Toy Story. Rule number 4 says that all antagonists are in row 2. The antagonists in the puzzle are Syndrome from The Incredibles, Randall from Monsters, Inc., and Hopper from A Bug's Life. Since Monsters, Inc. is more recent than A Bug's Life, Randall should be to the left of Hopper. Now we can work out who goes between Wall-E and Buzz in the first row. We need characters who were introduced earlier than Wall-E and more recently than Toy Story. We know all the antagonists belong in row 2, so none of them can go into row 1. Marlin from Finding Nemo would fit there. Jessie cannot go in row 1 because of rule number 5. Jessie and Buzz have appeared together in the Toy Story movies. Eve can also not go in row 1 because Eve and Wall-E appear together in Wall-E. Both Miguel, from Coco, and Forky, from Toy Story 4 are more recent than Wall-E and so cannot fit between Wall-E and Buzz. Jack from The Incredibles does fit in row 1. Carl from Up is more recent than Wall-E so does not fit in row 1. So the only character that now fits in row 1 is Marlin. Since The Incredibles is more recent than Finding Nemo, Marlin will go to the right of Jack. We now have row 1 and row 4 completed. If we check row 2 looks okay for now, since Carl from Up is more recent than the 3 antagonists. If we move to row 3, Forky should be on the left because they are the most recent character in this row. Miguel is more recent than Eve, and Jessie is the earliest. Now we have a problem. Jessie and Buzz cannot be in the same column because of rule number 5. From row 2 we can only swap Carl with Jessie, because the other characters are antagonists that belong in row 2. Carl is more recent than Eve, and so goes to the left of Eve. And finally we can organize row 2 according to release date. Jessie was introduced in Toy Story 2, so she belongs between Randall from Monsters, Inc. and Hopper from A Bug's Life. If we check logic now, we'll see the logical is solved, and without any guessing,